Okay, so November 11th of 2025. Before I can get into this so-called quote-unquote power can that just conveniently popped up out of nowhere, I'm just saying, I'm suspicious. You know, I have to make space, right? And I was in the middle of already doing something. And don't forget that whatever I'm gonna be doing, people, I don't have any more room in my room to put these canning jars that is resulting because of a freezer that so-called blew its motor. Because I'll never be 100% sure, because I'm not going to take the chance to plug the thing in. Usually when freezers blow their motors, they just die. There's safety mechanisms in them so that they don't catch on fire. They're not like a weed whacker, but it's interesting how the weed whacker caught on fire just the other day because it was smoking. Right? And all of a sudden my deep freeze, quote unquote, is smoking as, you know, Marina's going away for 2 weeks. Which means I can go downstairs now. I have permission to go downstairs and not fucking annoy anybody because, you know, right? Like, I had to ask in order to be able to go downstairs. And even then, I just stopped fucking asking. And when I did, it was made clear that I had to make sure that nobody was down there first. As if you know, okay. So, and my son has already told me that in the past that I can't bring anything more into the Shemai's room or anywhere down there for that matter because, you know, I got to deal with what I got going on in there first. Well, fuck that shit because I'm not going to, we're going to go through this. I'm not up for it. My eyes are worse. You know, my hip is still sore. I'm just starting my day. I have a battle plan. So, but before I start the battle plan, I have to clean up a little bit. So I'm sweeping. I'm going to wipe down the floor a little bit as I'm in here in this cupboard. Because I need to make counter space. And, you know, I am rearranging, doing this, doing that. And I'm going to have a lot of jars piling up at some point here very quickly, I would think. Unless, of course, my body just gives out on me. Or maybe my eyesight. Okay? Because, I don't know, I just feel like people are toying with my life. You know, nobody's helping me with this. And then when I want to go downstairs, and once they're all back, they're going to tell me I can't go down there again. And so whatever the fuck I did won't matter because it's going to be back to that tension where, you know, it's like I have to beg to be able to go into Shemai's room to get something. You know, I have to book an appointment, right? I got to be fast about it, right? Whatever the fuck it is, okay? Like, you know, that's just the reality of it. So it makes it kind of hard to be motivated, let's just put it that way, because I'm suspicious of this process. But I'm not irresponsible. I'm not going to throw out $1,000, $2,000. I don't know how much money is in that deep freeze, but, you know, good food. And, right, I have jars already. I ordered some more. I ordered some salmon jars so that I can focus on maybe working on Amari's little meal thing, right? Okay, or whatever. And just, you know, I should have enough to be able to do what I need to do. Minus 1 or 2 cases, maybe I might be shy. But it ain't over yet, people, because as soon as it's all canned up, and I start taking those jars downstairs, and because I can't get into Shemai's room fast enough and rearrange it, and put things away in there, I'm gonna get flack. I told you you can't bring no more stuff downstairs. Yeah, well, what the fuck? The freezer blew out. I don't have no more room to put fucking jars in my room. Sorry, boo, boo, boo. Right? You know, I have to put it downstairs. I have to, and they've already cleared out that 14-year food storage, moved out even more jars behind my back. I don't know what's been moved. I just know that my son said that he moved something and not to worry about it, but again, if I say, well, I want to come down and look, oh, well, you can't. Well, what do you mean I can't? Well, you got to wait until Marina's not home. Well, Marina's been not working, so she's home like every fucking day, all day long. So, like, whatever. And now she's going away for 2 weeks, and all of a sudden my deep freeze blows out on the assumption of there was smoke behind it. She apparently sent him a picture. Yeah, well, anybody can create smoke and make a picture look like it was smoking behind a deep freeze. Because honestly, I've never heard of a deep freeze starting to smoke. When the motor goes, it just blinks out because it has built-in mechanisms to prevent it from smoking and catching on fire. Duh. But besides that point, Fukushima salmon. This is pre-Fukushima. In other words, this salmon was in my freezer before Fukushima blew its stack in 2010. So it sat in my freezer for 6 years, and then I canned it in 2016. And look, the can is still good. The jar is still good. Ain't that amazing? Blackberry juice. 2017. Yeah. What I'm looking for is these kind of jars. I'll wipe out a few spider webs and see if I can make a little spot to put some of these beautiful cast iron pans that I have. I'll show you. Andre has one that he really loves now. I went for my PC points and I ordered 2 extra ones. You know, what is this? I don't know what this is. It's a jar with something inside of it. It doesn't say what it is. I'm not sweating myself. I mean, like, so many people have thrown out so much stupid shit. Throwing out thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of fucking dollars as they talk and laugh behind my back, as they mock me, as they call me down, all this other shit, you know, and like, I don't want vengeance, you know, but what comes around goes around, and I don't know. What is this? I don't know. Oh, it smells like a beef. Kind of beefy.
There is a feudalism, let's say, and capitalism and slavery. There is a group of both society that governs it, and the rise of the state.
Honestly, I don't know what it is. Try and label your jars, your bags, whatever it is that you're doing. Sometimes I'm just so busy doing shit all the time that I just, I don't know. Old can of sliced pineapple. Now you see, that's what I wanted to do. Versus doing what I'm doing, I've got canned fruit that I bought a couple, 2-3 years ago that, again, I couldn't get access to. And I wanted to recan them into canning jars to get them out of the tin, because fruit is a high acid food. So the longer it sits in a tin, yeah, eventually it can get a little tinny tasting. It won't kill you, but, you know, or the acid within the fruit itself will eat through the can. So the can maybe not last as long as you'd like it to last, compared to, you know, something else that can sit for 10, 15, 25 years in a freaking can, like corned beef or something like that, right? Okay, so we're not going to worry about that. I have a box of jars over here that have beans and stuff in them that I really have no place to put, so that's why I'm going to take out, and I'm shy. How many jars am I shy? Oh, a few of them. So I'm going to fill that up, and then I'm going to move this box with jars that have food in them, because we're going to get into the grinding of the beans, the grinding of the wheats, the grinding of the rices and barleys and the millet and the freaking amaranth, whatever. We're going to get into that soon enough. Yeah. Assuming that I'm still kicking around, right? You know, little things like this can be emptied out. Where am I? I might need the jar, so we'll keep that out. Right now what I'm doing is I'm trying to fill up this box so I can put another box of already jars with other foods in them, so that I can put another box here so I can, you know, I got like this, for example. I'll show you right now. Oh my God, this is going to be tough. It's going to be rough and tough. I wouldn't be surprised if I don't go completely blind by the time all this shit's done. Okay? Now, do you see this bag of... Oh, are you listening? I haven't even started my day. I got 2 weeks to get my fucking act together before I'm locked out of the basement again, basically. Begging to go downstairs to get some food. Yeah, basically. Because that's what it feels like. I have to beg. It's pathetic. And then when I think I find somebody to actually who was willing to help me, and turn around and steal $10,000 worth of shit off of me. And I'm still finding my shit going missing. Like that freaking $400 flaker that I had to order from the States. Right? You know what I'm saying? And it was a hand crank one. So if a hydro went out, you still had it. It didn't matter. The point was, is I paid $400 for the stupid thing, and it's not where it's supposed to be. Because that bitch Rhea took it. So, this here, do you see? It's a bag of organic rolled oats, large flake. Do you see? Okay? I don't know how much I paid for it. 30 bucks. Whatever. Something like that. $30, $35. You can see I didn't get very much for it, right? It was only a 5-pound bag or a 10-pound bag or something. I don't know. Anyway, I have a lot of oat groats in the house, right? So that, you know, once I get organized, when I'm not under some kind of crises from one moment to the next, you know, you grind up, you make your own oats, and it's, you know, not only more nutritional, but it's, you know, economically it makes more sense, and it's fresher, and, you know, because you buy in bulk, 25, 50, 100 pounds worth of oat groats at a time, you have enough to last you a long time. If an emergency happens, you have enough to start feeding the people that come knocking on your door, asking for food because they know you have it, right? And so that they don't go hungry. I'm just saying. So I ended up buying another food mill. Costed a pretty penny for it. It's a heirloom. So I don't know. I got stupid kids, so they might end up throwing it out after I'm dead. But they don't care, right? Because I don't know. I don't know. I've never met people the way people are these days. And if I have met them, they weren't right up in my face, right? In terms of, you know, the middle class living in their nice fucking houses, you know, just like an Eleanor Gilding, right? You know, there's a lot of Eleanor Gildings out there, right? But besides that point. So this, I'm hoping, will be the last bag of rolled oats that I order from Organic Matters. Because once I'm done doing what I'm doing, what do you call it? I'll be flaking my own groat oats in this new mill that can mill beans, wheat, seeds, as long as they're not oily, amaranth, barley, whatever, fucking, sorry, boo-boo, buckwheat, blah. And then the other part of it has a separate motor with a separate, right, that can flake oats for you so that you can do it every day, fresh, for yourself. That's the direction I'm moving in. As I'm being, you know, what I say. So what is this? Sweet potato yam in a nice, beautiful, dark jar. Something else my kids don't fucking appreciate. They don't know how expensive these jars are. Like, seriously, man. They'll just like, why did she need so much? Well, what was her problem? As a matter of fact, I'll keep that out for Amari because, you know, I do these things for Amari and then I get sideswiped for one reason or another. Before you know it, I'm spending months doing something else, right? You know, don't forget, I gotta go outside and pull that fucking Morning Glory yet because if I don't do that soon, it's just another heat score where all of a sudden I'm the villain and I'll be threatened to be evicted because of stupid Morning Glory and the yard is too green. Yeah. What's this? Blueberry apple. 2017, 2020. I can give this to Amari. So we'll leave this out. No. And this is in your kitchen cupboard next to the stove and it held up after all these years. Right? So that's good. And what else? I just need some jars in here just to fill up that box so I can put another box that has food in it. Sweet potato again. Plus yam. January of 2022. This stuff never goes bad, people. Okay? And this is good because I can put 1 or 2 to 3 tablespoons in Amari's food as I'm cooking them. Right now I'm soaking some peas and some beans. I'm debating whether I should let them sprout first before I cook with them, but I gotta start cooking them today. They've been soaking for over 24 hours, so they're good. Okay, so what else we got in here? I don't have a flashlight. I have to make room for some beautiful cast iron frying pans. Okay, this is why we jar things up. Do you see what happened in here? Obviously there was a moth of something and they had a party and they took over the environment and they all got drunk. Maybe they're alive in there still, maybe they're not, who knows. All we know is we don't want that in there. There's a nice jar. What is this? Another jar with no label. Maybe it's breadcrumbs. I don't know. Look at that jar. Those are nice jars. Those are the kind of jars when my mother was alive. As a matter of fact, maybe it's my mother's jar. Yeah. I might as well taste it and see what's going on. Well, it's kind of sealed, so we'll just leave it right now. I won't open it. I don't need this kind. I know, I'm supposed to be canning. Yeah, well, I have to make room first. And I gotta finish up what I was doing. Onions. These are dehydrated onions. Okay. Stuff like that never really goes bad either. I wish I had a flashlight so I could see what's back here. But we'll just take a look anyway. What's this? More yams. Okay, never go bad. This cupboard's not so bad. I don't feel too many spider webs. I don't feel any so far. Like these old houses, you know, get spiders everywhere. So I'm going to put you back there for now. Because we'll keep these other ones closer by. And there's something else here. I don't know. What's in here? Of course it doesn't say. Oh wait, what's this? 2011. Cabbage. Can't find these kind of bottles anymore. Right? It has a lid, but in those days I just taped it up. So when I get into those, what do you call those things? Little sidekicks? Then we'll open this up and we'll see what's going on inside. And being what it's in, how it was sealed with nothing to get in it, from what I can see, everything is still holding its shape in there. Right? It's way in the back here in a cool, dark place. It will probably still be edible and be really good. Yeah, to mix it in with your rices as a sidekick. Yeah. Okay. Unless, of course, you're a rich bitch. Or bastard. And life is just one big hoorah. And you'll always be fine. And never go hungry. Because you believe in the process. And the economy. And those who represent you. Alright. So there. So we got that. So these jars here, to keep it simple, for now, we're not worrying about this stuff. So these I'm just going to put over there, and then I'm going to show you what I'm talking about when it comes to these cast iron frying pans. Hold on. Okay, so I'm listening to these videos. I don't have glasses on. Eyes are so bad. About the Hunger Games in our economy these days. Right? And this is blackberry pulp. August of 2020. It's just been grounded up, right? It's not sealed, but because it hasn't been opened in years, I'm sure it will still taste good. Let's take a pinch. If you grind it up really fine with a coffee grinder, Mari's little grinders, you can put that in your cookies and cakes and stuff. Be okay. Be nice, good. Be really good. Okay, so I'm just making a spot for these beautiful cast iron pans that I bought so I could get my $25 in PC points, because I did an order. I didn't want to, but there was things that I needed, so I thought, to hell with it. You spend $100 on, you know, certain things and you get $25 back. Well, they didn't have one thing, and then they gave me what I wanted, but I also didn't get my PC points because I was $5 short on that $100. Oh, I was so choked. So freaking choked. You don't even know. So I put another order in. It ended up being a $200 order, but I got 2 different kinds of thermometers for when you like deep frying chicken and stuff like that. The one with the electronic kind, and then the one that you push into the meat itself, so that, you know, as Andre's learning to cook. Now I have some around the house, but not the electronic. So I bought that. I bought a thermometer for Amari in case he gets a fever, because my thermometers are the old school, that with the mercury that you have to bring down, right, in the glass, eh? I should still have those, unless maybe Rhea stole them, because they were in my room and I haven't found them yet, but I'm thinking maybe I moved them into my sewing room. So there's one spot where they could be, and if they're not there, then that means that bitch stole my freaking thermometers too. And I remember I gave one to Tisha a long time ago. You can't buy those anymore, right? That's when my kids were young. And anyway, so we're just making a little spot here. So yeah, the second time I phoned, the second time I put an order in, it was for these cast irons, just to make it interesting when it comes to cooking and crap like that. Right? Try something different. I don't know. I have like cast iron. I do have a couple enamel ones, but anyway, so let's just take a look at them. This hopefully will fit in here. So before I can really do anything, I have to work sorting out, clearing out. I've got jars there that are ready to be filled up with stuff, and I have to fill them up and get them out of the way before I can bring out more jars. And so as long as I get into this freezer up here, at some point today, I have to get up in there, dig out all that stupid shit. I'm going to have to get to this back door. I'm going to have to tape the freaking door with gray tape with the glass to, what do you call it? So I can open the door, so I can go up and down the back stairs, because I can't go around the house, because that will be just too hard to deal with, right? So I got to do all this shit today. And I've been doing it because I've been working in my room and shit, right? And then, yeah. Okay, so anyway, I ordered two kind like this. One was $60 and the other one was $32. Andre really likes it. He said it's his favorite one. There's one over there, which I haven't washed it yet, but I'm just gonna put it in here for now. Alright, I'll go get it. I'll show you in a minute. I think this one is the smaller one, and the other one is 3.5 liters, and this one is 3.3 liters. Oh, as if I can even get it, because I'm moving shit around. Right, that's what's happening here. Andre put it way over here. You can't stay here. See? This is what he does. He put this shit over here. I don't know if you can see me. Anyway, put the bananas there. And then, because I don't know what he's doing, and I don't necessarily see it, and I don't necessarily get to it right away, what do you think's going to happen to those bananas? If they don't get moved quick. Oh my God. By the time I leave this house, Now my life will be over, people. Oh yeah. It won't matter whether I get a functioning kitchen or not. I'm not going to be able to see shit. Groceries feel like it's a luxury for a lot of people. Well, people are fucking around with my food. Okay, look at this. Look at the color. Andre says, oh, Nana, I so love this color. You want these so that when you're cooking something, the moisture accumulates and then they drop off these little things, right? Back into your food to keep your food nicely, you know, whatever. Look at this. Talk about making some dumplings. Chicken with dumplings. Oh my God. You could make a pizza of sorts with something. Buns. Freaking all kinds of crazy crap in this. So this one's the 3.5. I didn't realize it was so big. I just wanted my PC points. That's all I want. But I'm happy I have this because it will be fun to cook with. Let's see if I can fit it in here. Oh God, no. Oh my Lord. Oh joy. I have to find a permanent home for it when I'm not using it. So that's why I have to do this. And then I got another one, same kind. So it seems that it's just a little smaller. So you could do two different things at one time, whether you're doing it on the stove or whether you're doing it in the oven or whether you're using stove and oven. It doesn't matter. Okay, so I got a spot, but I've got cans that are in the way. So I'm going to take out these cans and do something else with them. Because I want to keep those pans handy. Rotella. Now I do plan on making, I find that Rotella really has no flavor. It was just something somebody wrote on a comment on YouTube that I read, and I thought, oh, I'll try it out. For the amount of money that I paid for this, and its accompanying companions, never again. Maybe just because I don't have space for those cans, maybe I'll just open them up and throw them in with the tomatoes, because I ended up buying extra tomatoes. When I bought these containers, I was going to cook and put in the fridge and have just available or whatever, but as it is right now, I don't think that's going to happen because I need the fridge for whatever's going on in that deep freeze downstairs. So it looks like I have a fair amount of Rotella, and tomatoes do not sit in a can for very, very long, and I've probably had this now, probably going on 2 years, because I'm always doing food prep, but I never really ever get a chance to cook, right? You understand, right? How many times have I gone hungry all day long just doing this stupid shit for my family, thinking that I'm doing the right thing, to turn around and who knows what. So I do plan on cooking up these tomatoes. Yes, they were bought from the store, but that's okay. I don't mind. Plus I've got frozen tomatoes downstairs. I should, in that deep freeze that came from the garden years and years and years and years ago, which I'm sure are fine, because you'd be surprised how well tomatoes can hold up in a freezer. I should have a small bag of tomatoes that grew in my little grow room that I haven't really used. So if I find them and they're still there, I don't remember if I used them or not, I'm just going to throw them all into one big pot and I'm going to cook them up. And that's going to be one of the first things that I can, whether tonight or first thing in the morning, because, you know, I only have so much energy, people, and I'm already exhausted and my hip is already starting to hurt, and all I can do is what I can in a day. So I am starting with this so I can get into this container. I have some clay, I'll show you. I paid a lot of money for it. It's more for Mari, for what do you call it? more for Amari for, see, I don't have my glasses. More for Amari for, like, muscle therapy, right? I can't read this, but this is way in the back. I can't really see what it is. I'm curious to see what it is, so hold on a minute. Okay, as I went to go get some glasses, I knocked the camera down and fell down on the floor. So I don't know. Maybe I broke it because it was really fuzzy there for a minute. You solve one problem, and you create another problem. But being that I'm going to be canning tomatoes, honestly, you don't want to waste money. So because these have been sitting in here for a couple of years, it might be in my best interest just to open them all up, cook them up with the tomatoes that I've got, whether I bought them from the grocery store just like 2 days ago before this freezer shit happened, or whether I've got frozen tomatoes in my freezer, which I should, unless somebody took them out. What do you call it? I don't can them up all at one time. Right? And because if you do that, I'm telling you, as long as you take the rim off your jars, when you store them, chances are those canned tomatoes will sit in your jar for years and years and years and years and years without spoiling. And under the lid, the worst that you'd get would be, and for people who watch my videos, they would know this because I've already talked about it, is when you're canning, things spit up, right? So you get a little bit of food particles at the top of the lid. Over a period of years, it sits, it will go dark, right? So when you open it, okay, assuming that there's no rust on your lid, because if you get rust on the top of the lid, it will start eating through, and once it eats through the lid, air gets in, and whatever the food is, tomatoes, doesn't matter what it is, it will spoil. But as long as it's a nice seal, whatever your tomato, they will sit for 10, 15 years. I'm telling you people, okay? But, you know, people don't know, right? Because they've just been taught that throw away food once you get to a certain point in terms of the timeline, right? So they can, you know, go out and buy more. Cut down all the apple trees, cut down all the plum trees, cut down all the pear trees, cut all the freaking blackberry bushes, cut all the freaking grapevines in the neighborhood. And what are people forced to do? They're forced to go to a grocery store and pay for that stuff versus going out into their yard. Well, it's the same kind of concept. If you can it for yourself, it can sit for 10, 15, 20 years or more. Okay? As long as your jar isn't compromised, but the food companies, they're not going to tell you that because they want you going and buying in the grocery store. All right. So with that said, when you have a jar of tomatoes without a rim, where this hasn't been compromised, the seal is still good, you open it up, underneath the lid, you may find that there'll be a little black spot or so because of oxidization of the food particles that spit it up whenever it was that you canned it. And you can take your finger and you can actually go like this and it will move around. But people will automatically assume that that is mold. That is untrue. No, what that is oxidization over a period of years that is not poisonous because what's inside the jar is still preserved. Okay? If it was mold at the top of the jar, you would see the lid underneath compromised with spots coming through with rust or whatever, and the food itself would start to discolor and look bad and blah and blah and blah. This is a blackberry juice that was done in 2000 and I don't know, maybe 16, looks like. Probably around the time when Shimei was alive. If you take this, you put it into ice cube cups, trays, and you freeze it, oh my God. It is so, so, so good. You could even make blackberry jello if you wanted to, or whatever. So, I'm just saying. Okay, so that's buckwheat. It says buckwheat from 2020. But before I use this, I'm going to be using my, and it's sealed, so I'm not going to open that. I'm going to put that back. Where it is way, way, way in the back here. Because I'm going to get into my smaller jars, my 1 size-liter jars, once I'm organized and start using up what's in there as I'm cooking up meals for the kids, whether it's Andre, myself, and Amari, or whether it's Amari in his own little beautiful frying pan that I bought for him, which I got some Cantatelli beans soaking in water and a few peas, which after I'm done this, I'm going to start cooking up. I guess we'll get into a little bit of an Amari side dish, and then, right, because, you know, lots of pressure. Alright, so I don't have time to wash this, and I don't have space. But isn't that beautiful? Like, I mean, come on, people. Let's see if we can get it in there. Okay, now it fits. Perfect. And because I had to order at least $100 of some kind of appliance, baby items, so I bought nipples, extra nipples for Amari. I bought the thermometer just in case, you know, he gets a fever, and because, you know, if he ends up having a seizure, he goes to the hospital, or if he goes to the hip doctor, they do an x-ray on him, he gets a fever for like 2 days. Yeah, it's really scary. And he's really, really skinny. So I don't know. So I thought, well, I'll just get the thermometer, right? And then, you know, I have my kind. I should anyway. And I've got this other one. And then I bought 2 thermometers for the stove, so that as Andre's learning how to cook more, you know, and I get more organized, we'll do some deep frying chicken, Kentucky Fried Chicken, or whatever, or whatever, or whatever. And whew. And if we get into deep frying here with the convection oven, which I'd like to try and do, you know, teach them how to use the thermometer to make sure that it's cooked on the inside. So this one's a little smaller. You can see it's not as heavy. It's not as heavy. I can feel it already. This one was $32. It's much lighter than the one that was $60. It's the same color. It's just a little teeny weeny smaller and not as heavy. Yeah. So one day we'll do videos with these. Yeah. Try new things. So I'm going to put this in the bag for now. I'm not washing them. I'm just getting them out of the way. And I suppose I'm glad that I did this, because now that I pulled out all this Rotella, I'm probably going to open up a few cans. And, you know, they call it recanning, right? Repurposing, right? You can do that with your canned fruits to extend the life of your canned fruits if you're looking to do them for long term, which I need to do downstairs. I've got a lot of canned fruit from the manufacturers to recan, but I just haven't had time. But we'll get to it eventually. Oh yeah, this is nice. This is a nice little one. It's not as heavy. It looks like it has almost the same depth. Oh my god, the lid is heavy. Oh, maybe that's what's heavy. Real heavy. Almost the same size. Oh my god. So I don't ever have to worry about cast iron, enamel, freaking pans, pots, none of that crap. Or unenameled. When I want to get into making what do you call it? Sourdough bread. Now, when you're using cast iron, just keep in mind that the ones that don't have the enamel, for those who don't know, they leach iron, okay? Women in their, like, prime, you know, they bleed, right? So, when you bleed as a woman, you flush out iron from your body, naturally. And then your body, it makes more iron, right? It replenishes itself. Whereas men and boys, they don't. So, if you use a cast iron frying pan every day, all day, for years and years and years and years and years and years and years, as your main cooking utensil, and you're a male, and you're eating your food from that, you know, there is the possibility of getting too much iron in your blood. And because men don't bleed or boys don't bleed, that could become a problem. So, you know, I would recommend having a few of these kind of things around if you don't have them by now. And, you know, learn to use these to their advantage. So, okay, so we're just going to put that in there, out of sight, out of mind. We know where it is, and now I've got another one up here that will fit, I think, perfect on there, which, because the tomatoes I'm just going to cook in a steel stock pot. Right? I need my stove, so I have to make room. So that's what I'm doing right now. Just doing this stuff might be an all-day affair. Plus, I have to empty out what's in my oven when it comes to pots and pans. Because don't forget, I don't have a functioning kitchen. I don't have a lot of room. So, and if you do food prep, well, that even makes things sometimes harder. Isn't this a nice little one? I got a bigger one than this. This one I can't remember. I think it's just a 5-quart. Isn't that beautiful? And as a matter of fact, I got another one in there too. Right? Because I'm always stressing out about Amari. And I'm always like thinking how I can get that staple going where, you know, it's a kind of like a routine where it makes sense. So in the meantime, this one will fit, I'm pretty sure, nicely. Look how nice this one is. This one is a Lodge, which is one of the better makes in terms of safety for the enamel. Look at that. And then I got another one in the oven. But I can see already there's not going to be enough room here. Unless I take out maybe what's in the back, which are big jars. And then I can have on this side of the cupboard at least the main cast iron frying pans that I need, or frying this, not frying, but you know, the main cast iron pans that I want to use regularly. So, I don't know how much longer I'm going to last. People, do you think they're going to miss me when I'm gone? Or are they going to say good riddance? 50-50, some will say good riddance, other ones will say, oh boo, poor mom. What do you think? Okay. Once you start using them and you know what you're using them for. Okay, so we're going to take out this jar. What's in it? Yams. We'll find a different spot for it. And when I get, this is the cabbage from 2011, which I'm sure will go really nice in those little sidekicks with rice. A few lentils, a few beans. As I'm sorting out the stuff in my room, I'm putting everything that's miscellaneous into one bag so that eventually when I have more time, I grab some rice, throw it into a big bowl, throw in some lentils, throw in some mung beans, throw in some of this, throw in some of that, throw in some of that if it's still good, which I'm sure it is, right? Mix it all up, right? Put it into Mylar bags, get some freaking seasoning stock soup mix, put a tablespoon or two of that in there with a few little bit of herbs that are kicking around in a jar, and you're good to go. Right? That's what I'm gonna do. Oh. And then it will be easy peasy for Andre to make those things for himself when the time comes. And it will cost me absolutely nothing except some time. Okay, so now we're going to put these ones for now in the back, because I'm not going to be using them for a while. We know where they are. When I'm ready to use them, I'll make sure I wash those ones. Oh. Alright. Now we're going to take this nice beautiful red one. We're going to put that on top of that one, and then we're going to get into the oven, and we're going to pull out what's in the oven. I'll show you those ones, and we're going to put them in here. And this problem with these beautiful cast iron enamel things I got has been solved, and I know where they are. Okay. There we go. Perfect. And this is a nice sturdy real wood. Real wood. Not Presto freaking wood cupboard. In other words, it can hold the weight because it's real freaking wood. Unlike what they're building today, man. Seriously, unlike what they're building today. Everything's Presto wood. Unless, of course, I suppose you're a millionaire and you can afford to pay freaking an arm and a leg for real wood cupboards. Otherwise, you're stuck with Presto wood that start to swell and spoil and rot out and flake out and then buckle. These are to go in between that other cast iron, but right now I don't have time for that. So I'm just going to put them, oh my lord, inside. Ain't nothing getting moved right now. So much for canning, eh? Oh no, we'll be canning soon enough. It's either that or throw the shit out or put it out on the road so people can take it. And for the amount of money that I paid for Rotella, if you like Rotella, I think I'd be foolish to throw out these cans. Right? It's funny. My son would go for a can of Rotella before he'd go for a jar of canned Rotella. Home canned. Because you've been programmed to trust this product before you can trust my product. Even though after I'm done canning my tomatoes, 99% of those jars will hold their seals for 10, 15, 20 years. Where this, you might get lucky to get 5 years of it sitting in this can before it starts to eat out, leach out, get all over everything, and or it will just start bulging. So before I allow that to happen, because God knows when I'm going to be able to cook with this shit, because I'm always busy with other things, I think I'm going to throw in a few cans with my tomatoes and probably can up a case. And then I'm going to have to set, like I said, I'm going to have to fight when the time comes to put whatever it is that I can over the next week or so downstairs. Even though where it was in the freezer was perfectly fine. Okay, so now I have a space here for whatever cast iron pans I have in the oven, because I need my oven. So hold on a minute. Alright, got them out of the oven. Still have regular pots and pans in there, so what's in here? Oatmeal. Oh, there's oatmeal in here. So I better take that out. But isn't that a cute little, right? Bought it for Amari's little meals. Depending on what I'm doing, right? This cooks up rice that was from 2011. And boy, was it ever so good. That rice from TNT that had dehydrated this, dehydrated that, little beans and miscellaneous brown rice and this, and then there was another organic brown rice that had ripped that'd been kicking around for. I mixed it all up together. I cooked it up. Oh man, it was so good. You don't even know. So good. And then this little.
The system wasn't
Just the cutest little pot.
Trapped in a cycle where you work just enough to survive,
Right?
but never enough to thrive.
And then this one,
Go up, wages stay frozen, and the dreams
which has a different enamel. I don't remember if it's a Croissants
people are budgeting like their lives,
brand or a Lodge.
cutting costs where
It has nothing underneath it, written underneath it.
used to be normal comfort
I think it's a Lodge or something. I don't know.
every month.
Or the other one is Lodge. Anyway, it has a different coating on it. Right? That's not cast iron. That's a coating on it. And it's a little smaller than the one that I just put in there. And it does not look like I'm going to be able to close my cupboard. Or if I can, it's just going to barely make it. Please, 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 please let this be a God moment. Let the cupboard door close flush, because I don't want to have to try and figure this out and take all day. We just want to get on with things. We got a deep freeze on thawing downstairs that nobody cares about because they see it as an albatross and it's in their way. You see, if I didn't know that information, maybe I wouldn't be so about shit right now, but like I said, I'm kind of suspicious how it just magically went poof. Yeah, okay. Alright. Nope. Oh my god. What can I do? I can switch them around. There's an idea. I'll take the other one. I'll put this one on top of the other one because I think it's more wider. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and then we'll put this one to the back. Oh, you don't know how excited I am to use these things when the time comes. Oh, I want to make dumplings. I want to take my broth. I don't care what bone broth, rich bone chicken broth, whatever broth. I want to use what I'm showing you and have a few miscellaneous vegetables inside it. And then, you take egg with flour, a little bit of salt, you mix it up. You can either roll it out and make your own macaroni in lengths or however, or you can just scoop it up in a spoon, pour it into, drop them into the liquid as it's boiling. And, oh man, it's going to be so good with a little bit of garlic in there. Oh, I'm so excited. I can hardly wait. Right? And because it's a cast iron, as you're doing that, you can sprinkle in a little bit of barley or something, or wheat or beans, so that, it's, oh yeah, it's going to be so good. So I'm already thinking about the things that I wanted. Okay, there's oatmeal in this. I can't put that in there. I'll have to empty that out first. Where's that other little one? How the hell could I have lost the little blue pot? I lost it. Oh, here it is. The red one doesn't look like it might fit up. Well, it might, but... Okay, so we got that now solved. There's your standard traditional cupboard without jars inside. That's what I'm going to be cooking with soon. What's in here, among other things that I'll be using. And then this is, I see I have oatmeal here, so I didn't realize that, but now I know. And I'll just take these things and put them in here for now. And whatever they are, I don't care. Yeah. And then I'll get a box for the Rotella. This sounds like blackberry juice. Pre-Fukushima fish. I don't know. Okay, so when I get that mill, after everything's all said and done, you see, already some in jars. I've got some in buckets and yada 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 yada. This is from 2020. I haven't used it yet, so we'll just put that there. This thing is not closing, so yeah, I have to move it. So I'm going to put it on the bottom, and then I guess that will free me up some more space, even though I'm flushing everything out of the cupboard here, making a mess. Whatever. This will free up some more space for a couple of other things that I like to use, assuming that... Yeah, that's not working out. People would rather go hungry than struggle with this crap. Yeah. Sometimes food prep is no fun. No. It can get obnoxious. More oats. See if we can get that in there now. Okay, that, as long as we get it in there, that's all I care about.
This was supposed to be easy. You go to college, you take classes.
Try not to leave your rims on your jars because it gives a false sense of
major. You make some friends.
sealing.
Internships, or you join some clubs. And when you graduate, you have a job.
Spread.
And somehow, it is not
Fig spread.
as everyone thought it would be. You are having so much more difficulty landing the job.
All right.
And especially in 2024. Every year,
Good enough.
2 million
So,
students
right now,
graduate from college in the U.S.
we got more pressing issues.
Of those, over 80%
So, just put these back for now.
only 50% of managers agree.
I don't care.
So we have this problem, and especially right now in 2024. And if you think that you are going to get
Okay.
a job in
We'll
this
leave the
job
oatmeal
market,
out. Put that someplace else just because.
or hoping for the best, or thinking that
Leaving all these cans out. Oh, and we got this little blue
you need to think
one here. Put that there.
your strategy consists of 2 parts.
Alright.
One, so what
I
kind
miss
of skills
my
do you
family.
bring to the market? 2,
Yeah.
you need to understand who are you going to bring.
It was more balanced when everybody was alive.
So if you're trying to figure out how to land a job in this job market, and you're a college
Yeah.
student, and you're about to graduate,
I don't know what's better. Having 1 kid, no kid, 5 kids,
so I can help you out.
3 kids.
To all the recent grads or early grads who are struggling to find a job, I feel you, I hear you, and I understand. I'm sitting in hard out y'all.
All I know is I miss my family.
I graduated
It has no balance anymore.
a whole entire year to find a
Purple sweet potato. I'm going to put that in my bedroom now.
And honestly, I didn't really get into traction until I decided to do it.
I'll put that in one of Amari's
It actually gave me work experience.
little jars that I have up here. Okay, so now we should be able to close that. So as long as I can close that, that's all I care about. Because I want to keep those cast iron handy, and I want to use them. So that's why I did what I did. And I don't have to buy no more cast iron of nothing. That's it. I've got other little ones if you want to make those soup bowl things and cast iron. Got skillets, whatever. I'm good. I've got a cast iron here that if the hydro went out, you could put this one up on the freaking fire pit out in the back. But nobody wants it, even though my son goes camping because it's too heavy. So I have they put it outside. They threw it outside from the basement. Then it got rained on, so needless to say, I have to give it a good scour. I'll show you here in a minute. How about I show you? I have to give it a good scour. Put it in the oven, season it, and then I'll probably try and put it online and sell it. Right now it's just here, sticking out like a sore thumb, because I have to bring it in from outside. It's just in the way. But I don't throw things outside. So I don't expect they'll look after the ones that I have now. So you see it's got, so you can put it in stand and you can fry on it. Alright. But because it got thrown out, nobody cared about it. It's not ruined, it just needs to be scoured and re-seasoned. Alright. Oh joy, all rusted up inside. And what's the brand? I don't know. It's very heavy though. I don't know. DO10. I can't really see. Either or. I clean that up. That will be one of the things we'll try and sell. Because I ain't doing no campouts. No. Boy, I'm just canning a lot here, aren't I? This shit couldn't have happened at a better time, huh? No. Alright. So, now I go to find a box. I got one. And, okay, I'm outside now. Mickey the gardener cat. So my landlords came by, Mr. and Mrs. Gill. Mrs. Gill was complaining about this. Everything. She wants us to cut down the walnut tree. She wants me to get rid of all the trees in the back. She wants me to bust up the hen house area. I told her, don't do that, Mrs. Gill. That thing is solid as a rock. It holds up the fucking fence that's left over. Right? You know, I'm going to try and repair as much as I can in terms of a fence. Not that I'm going to be able to repair very much, but I like a fence. Right? She's telling Andre to do this, do that. Like, I don't get it, people. Like, that thing is so solid. I told her it provides shelter. It keeps things. She wants me to get rid of the chair. I said, why? Well, because it's ugly and old. Well, what the hell? That's all we have. We're a poor people. I'm a poor woman, man. Right? You know, maybe when I'm out there, I don't want to sit down for a second. Like, and then Mr. Gill is saying, oh, well, you know, the city always bugging us to get ready to sell. They want, you know, they want the property to build their freaking condos or shit. And whatever. He says, maybe 2-3 years, that's it. He pleading with his daughter-in-law to not kick me out when he dies. Like, what the hell? Hold on a minute. We're gonna go check this thing. Okay, so I haven't been down here since before they got married. This is what I have to empty out, people. Like, seriously. Yeah. Why am I not surprised? They don't want it here. That's the deep freeze is unplugged. It's an albatross. They want the space. So, you know, I've never known them deep freeze to start smoking. But either or, still nice and solid and frozen in here. This is pathetic, though. So these are still frozen. Do you see this? All peach for Amari. Or whatever it is. Some of it looks like lard. Some of it looks like peach. That's salmon. What is this? Can't see. What is this? This is I bought a thermometer. I guess that's what that is. Everything is still frozen. So I'm running behind here because this isn't easy. Like, this is mess. People, I'm gonna die. I swear I'm gonna fucking die. I'm gonna die from this stress. Okay? My landlady is so unhappy. I've said to my landlord, well, why is she always picking on me? Like, I'm doing the best I can. Like, I'll come outside. What is this? I can't even see what it is. What? Fish. This is fish, people. Like, what the hell? Andre said, yeah, big box of fish. See? Frozen solid right now. I don't think they plugged it back in. No. No, they got their power cords in. Right? Yeah, things are starting to unthaw in here. I can feel it. Now I lost the flashlight. Oh my god. Do you see how I struggle with this stupid shit? Because I'm so nervous. A bag of nerves, man. That's all it is. Just a bloody bag of nerves. Right? I told her, I said, my freezer broke. She said, well, why don't you buy another one? I said, no, because they don't want it. They won't, right? I have to can. So I can't do anything in the yard. And she's telling Andre, get rid of that chair. And I'm like, we're allowed to have a chair. Well, I said, why get rid of it, Miss Gill? Oh, because it's old and ugly. I said, that's all I have. Right? At least it's something. You know what I'm saying? Now, these are tomatoes from my yard. Long time ago. But when you freeze them whole, they really hold up their shape. So I'm just going to can them with some tomatoes. Looks like that it's already been emptied out, something in here. I don't know what this shit is. Maybe my son took some stuff and put it somewhere. I don't know. Well, here's some more tomatoes. So we'll start with the tomatoes. And when I'm still seeing this, yeah, full of tomatoes from when I used to be able to grow food in this yard. I can't anymore. It's not safe. You don't know who's creeping it, right? Because of whatever. Because people are losing their marbles. And, you know, it's just. So I figure I'm just going to throw all these tomatoes. Throw some of the tomatoes that I just bought. I'll maybe open up a few cans of the Rotella. Maybe not. It depends. Look at that. These are fine. They've been sitting here for years. They're not, what do you call that? Freezer burn. No. So I'm gonna start with these. And the fruit that's in the freezer upstairs. And as soon as I empty out the fruit from the freezer upstairs, that's all going into a pot. I'll make some light syrup. And I'm just gonna water bath those. Right? I think I feel more tomatoes. Ah! I told you I haven't been down here, people. It's so uncomfortable. Look at this, blueberries. Blueberries. Raspberries. So yeah, I guess I'll be canning up that shit too. I'm just gonna can them up in light syrup. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm not pouring it out. Hell no, I can't afford it. I told my landlord, Mr. Gill, when Mrs. Gill ran off with Andre, I said, I am, because he said you got maybe 2 or 3 years before the city really starts trying to, because, bugging him to sell the house. I said, where am I going? What was the point? My landlord's asking me to tear down the hen house, which is one of the most solid, dry areas that holds up a fence. For what? They're tearing down the house in 2 or 3 years from now, people. Or so. Right? That's what I mean. It's tenant harassment. A lot of it's coming from the city. Mr. Gill said, well, when we get letters from the city like this... Oh, my God. Oh, my God, that can't stay there, whatever the hell that was. Now I'm going to fucking electrocute myself. Holy shit. It fell behind here. Oh, my God. I can't. Oh, my God. Come on, you can find it. What the hell was it? It was something... Here we go. I don't know what it is. He said, yeah, we get upset when we get those letters. I said, yeah, well, I don't blame you. I get upset too. But it's more like they want the city wants the housing for the immigrants. How can they say that they're building? Look at that, more tomatoes. How can they say that they're? How can they say that they're? I'm assuming that's more tomatoes. Feels like tomatoes. How can they say... that they're building housing for people when they're going out of their way to not only maybe harass landlords, which they do, so that landlords get tired and sell their house, or harass tenants so the landlords get tired of the tenants and kick out the tenants, so the city can come back and say, don't worry, we've got this program with these people and you'll make this much money and good to go, right? You know what I'm saying? With those kickbacks, right? This is why I have to write this letter and take it to an MLA and take it more than to one MLA and be that mouse that squeaks the most. As I go blinder and blinder, sicker and sicker, weaker and weaker, right? To the point where I will die, people, okay? Because that is starting to be the path of least resistance. I mean, you can only go through life shaking for so much. And I'm shaking. I'm shaking. Because I'm being worked to death as I got fear, the fear factor. Oh, more tomatoes. Just hold on a minute. How many freaking tomatoes do I have in here? This is going to be one big ass box, pot of tomatoes. But that's what I'm going to be working on first. And as soon as I get upstairs, I'm going to get the fruit out of the freezer so that Andre can help me to bring up this tallow. And I can throw it. More tomatoes. Holy crap. This is what I mean. This is all what I used to, where am I? Where's the camera? There it is. Everything that I used to grow. They don't want it. My son's not going to want it. More tomatoes. More tomatoes. Can you believe this? All these years. I need to phone an appliance person. Maybe it can be fixed, being that it just smokes. Probably not, though. I never heard of a deep freeze just start smoking like that, because they have built-in emergency mechanisms that if something compromises with the motor, it usually just shuts off and that's it. It's done. Is this bones? I don't know what that is. I can't see. Okay, we're not doing this fruit yet. I'm going to have to can the fruit. And I tried to get jars and couldn't get jars. So Tisha's going to have to go to Nestor's for me or something. Okay, so how many jars do I got here? So we got a box here, so we got... I'm going to try and get these beef tallow into my freezer upstairs after I take out the fruit that I wanted to use for I want to cry, people. I so want to cry. I know crying's not going to get me anywhere. I know it's not going to get me anywhere. So there's no point in crying. But I might cry. I might just break down and cry. Yeah, maybe. I just find this suspicious that it should go the day before Marina leaves for 2 weeks. Because otherwise I wouldn't be allowed to be down here if she was here. Because I'm an irritant. I don't know how to communicate properly. I'm not respectful enough, or something is wrong with me. Because I'm the problem. Okay, so we got a million little jars in here. Okay, so we've got this. I'm going to show you what we got going on in here. Oh, there's corn in here for Amari. Oh, what the hell? Corn. Look, grounded up the corn for him. Everything, people. Like, what the hell? 2 years. I wasn't able to get this stuff. Like, come on. Like, that's just not right. And I'm the problem? Yeah, okay. And you know, the thing is, people that, you know, kind of instigate this kind of shit, as if I like picking on my son, right? You know? Oh, here's more beef fat. Holy shit. Oh yeah, I knew there was a lot of tallow in here. Here, let's maybe do this different. I don't know if I can get all this upstairs. I'm not in the mood to be water bathing it right now. Holy crap, there's a lot here. You're looking at hundreds of dollars worth of tallow. Oh yeah. I don't want to cry. That's all I want to do. I worked so hard for nothing to end up homeless and gang stalked. Yeah. You don't want to help me buy a weed whacker, but I said, well, you pay half, I'll pay half. Because buying a used one is pointless. You're just asking for trouble. And it's not fair to Andre that he should be weed whacking out there with a used weed whacker that you bought off of somebody somewhere else. And 2 months later, the thing starts, you know, smoking and then just catches on fire. I would prefer a new one, but, you know, they want me to pay for it, but I don't have the money. So I offered to pay half. Ask them to pay half. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, so how many tallow do I have here? A lot. A freaking lot. A lot. I'm going to have to water bath some of these. Yeah. I'll tell you how many I got here in a minute. It's not as bad as it looks, but I'm just worn out. And I got the whip on my back to go outside and do yard work and get rid of more shit. So that we can make it easy for the property developer to bulldoze everything down in the next 2 or 3 years. This is what you write in whatever it is that I'm writing, and having the MLAs look at it. Because it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. to be losing my grandkids because I'm not going to be able to afford decent housing for them. I just won't. My landlord was telling me, he gave me an address way out, kind of out in the boonies, and he said it's a really dumpy, junky place that they were charging $2,300 for. And it was really small and cramped and everything because of the housing corruption. And I said, I know. You might as well put me on the line of execution. Instead of torturing me with a slow death, why not just execute me fast on my knees with their public shaming? Yeah, because that's what they do. If you notice, they do a lot of public shaming. Yeah. Okay. So we got a whole little box of chicken and turkey grounded up. You don't know how mad that makes me. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my God. Oh, let's try this again. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 jars. Pint-sized jars of tallow. Do you know how expensive that is in terms of buying that fat? If you had to pay for it. And then we've got all a little Mari's things, which would be great if I can keep them frozen. But I have to find a place for them like by tomorrow, which I might be able to do. And then we've got raspberries, blueberries that I will can. So that's enough of that for now. This is pathetic. And then we've got all these tomatoes that I never got to use. And if you notice, I can't get into my food over here. Whatever the hell is going on over here, I don't know. This is what I mean. Like, fuck, man. That's ridiculous. That's a huge bag of tomatoes from my garden as it was growing that I haven't had access to for like 2 years. It looks like they got some of my stuff in the wheats and whatever. Well, maybe not wheats, but rice and I don't know, people. Like, so much is missing. They took out my wall unit. I don't see it. Like, my shit's just, like, I want to die. Andre got some sort of gun that Tisha bought him that shoots these little, I don't know what they are. I think that's what I'm hearing. But just with the shit that's been going on, you know, it was rough with Sierra and Austin. And Joan was not a cakewalk. Uncle John's wife, Auntie Joan, she was rough, right? It was hard on me. Freaking Julian, Shimei dead on the couch, right there. Like, right there. Cops covered it up. Illegal organ harvesting. Whatever. And then this. And now to be facing homelessness as my landlady, is bugging me to dismantle things. For what purpose other than to keep me busy and annoyed and frustrated and overworked and go blinder faster. I don't know what I don't get it. Because why you want to take down something that's just going to make the fence fall down more, and then all that's going to happen is just going to be those big ass tall weeds again, and mud and grit with it crawling on everything. And then come to me and say it's muddy and it's gross because there's full of weeds that grow this high. And when they die off, it's just mud because it's all landfill back there. There's no dirt. Telling me I can't have a chair because it's ugly and it's old. Well, that's all I have. Can still use it. Who wouldn't want to die? Seriously. And then what? They can pillage what's left? And then what? Go looking for somebody else to start doing shit all over again? Like, what the hell? I don't know. Go upstairs now. Okay, so I'm going to finish this video. I didn't get very much done. But I've been going all day, believe it or not. I got a big-ass bag full of garden tomatoes that have been in my freezer from anywhere from, I don't know, 7 to 10 years. No, not 10 years. 7 to... I don't even remember the last time I put tomatoes in there. I just know that they're in there. So I think what I'm going to do, they're fine. I know they are. That's why you want to freeze them whole, eh? Because they last forever. And I'm just going to rinse them off. I'm going to not even bother peeling them. I'm just going to rinse them off. I'm going to put them in the pot. And I'm just going to start cooking them up. And I'm already burning out people. Like, I'm serious. Like, this is so hard for me to do. Anything these days, really. But, I just keep doing, because what else can you do when you're living, right? You're either going to curl up and get depressed, and then they haul your ass off and throw it out onto the streets and accuse you of being this and accuse you of being that. And then you die. Or you just keep pushing back on that depression, because that's like, why are you picking on a lone chair? That's like picking on the table, for crying out loud. I said to Mr. Gill, why is she always picking on me? Like, she knows they're going to be tearing down everything, so why do I have to start tearing down shit just so that what? The mud can come back in full force, and when the rain hits, right? And then it's because it's so gritty, because it's landfill and it's muddy, it just splashes. And then the big ass, those terrible buttercup, those big weeds that got long roots, and you can't take a lawnmower to it. It's impossible. They just take over everything. Morning glory growing all over the place. Raccoons using it as a latrine, Now she wants the tree cut down. She wants me to get rid of the other trees. Like, she wants me to have nothing. Like, I don't get it. Like, what the hell? I gave up my life for her so that she even had sheds. But, it's like, because, I don't want to take no responsibility for things that I did do. And just whatever, she's stuck in her ways. Just, everything is everybody else's fault. Nothing is her fault. Because... I don't know. She doesn't maybe like me talking about extreme yard maintenance versus routine. There's a difference between routine yard maintenance and extreme. Right now, there is extremeness out there with the morning glory and weeds or whatever to wherever, depending on where you're looking at. Because it's been like that since the moment I moved in, and I woke up and looked outside and they started growing, and it's been a nightmare for me ever since. And it's been extreme year after year after year. And it keeps getting me into trouble, which is not fair, right? But it doesn't mean that I can't own a broken down table, which is not broken. It's not broken, and neither is that chair, right? It's just that it's not nicely painted, and you know, and just that's a metal chair that's got wicker on it and still usable. Right? And then the fencing that I got, like those metal rails, right, which, you know, if I want to use for a squash to climb over or do whatever, I need them. Marcane did leave me those two anyway, and because he was taking so much out of the yard, he busted up the one post with the other, and Andre and the boys, they busted up some shit in there. And she said, oh, get rid of it all, and throw it out. And he says, no, I'm the one that broke it. It has to be repaired, right? You know what I'm saying? Right? So it's like, it's easy for people to point fingers and say this and say that, but not deal with the consequences with their demands after they get what they want, you know? And I'm tired of my life being pillaged. I mean, I suppose I have to get used to it, because the blinder I get, I'm thinking the people are just going to get worse. Doesn't matter who it is. They feel entitled that they can just come in and pillage my shit, isolate me, keep the whip on my back one way or another, somehow, some way, to keep me blindsided from them pillaging me, as they benefit from whatever it is that they're taking from me, whether it's my energy, right, my heart, my belongings, taking away my future. I have no future. Literally, I have no future, people. I said to my landlord, you know I'm facing homelessness. He says, I know. That's sad. That was his answer. I know. That's sad. But for now, you can stay here. As long as I'm alive. As I talk to my daughter-in-law to let you stay. Because he knows. That's it. He's not the one who personally created the corruption. But he doesn't live for it so that he can benefit from it. You see, that's the thing. And I think he knows what it feels like to be a slave, because I do believe that because he believes we are both reincarnated from a different past life, where at one point we were, involved somehow, some way in that past life as a family member or something, because he likes to consider me, quote unquote, to be a family member to him from the past life especially. And if that is the case, well, then we were slaves. You were a slave, Mr. Gillen. I was a slave. You were set free to be a messenger of some type, to which I hope you have a voice before you die, where people actually respect you and listen to you, where my voice comes through actions and telling the story that slavery still exists in 2025. And not only does it still exist, but there are people out there who want it to happen, make it happen, and profiteer from it. And it's, it's on different levels of human trafficking, right? It's not just one fixed idea of what slavery means when it comes to human trafficking. This shit that's going on with, tenant harassment. They're tearing down anything and everything that they can get their hands on as soon as they can turn a profit after they tear down what they destroyed. And they don't care who they hurt while they do it. Yeah. There are no good days. And even when you try and have a good day, even though it's kind of hard, it still gets kind of wonkers, right? So anyway, I gotta shake it off, right? I'm not a quitter. I'm going down swinging one way or another. I'll stand my ground right up into the very bitter end. Okay, because I gave up my life for this yard. I have never worked so hard in all my life, and all I got was a big fat fucking zero out of it. And harassed, and harassed, and harassed, and harassed. And being told I can't have things, which is not right. And being expected to pay for things. My landlord, Mr. Gill, don't buy it. As I told my, once I do get out there, because I have to do this freezing, finish up what I'm doing with the food and stuff, right? Because I got robbed and now the freezer broke. And then when I do go outside, I plan on doing shed repairs, and I'm pleading with Mrs. Gill to let me do the fucking shed repairs. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. That's dry. It holds up the fence. Like, you don't want it. That thing won't move. It's solid as a rock. It's like made to not move, right? And as soon as you start dismantling that, you can might as well kiss your bloody fence goodbye. If you notice, she's not talking about the fence falling down anywhere. Not talking about the back step all rotten out. Not talking about the fucking porch all leaking and falling apart. Or nothing like that. No, it's about weeds that look like flowers that she's not happy with. As if I don't have 12 hours a day, 5 to 7 days a week to be out in the yard, to end up homeless with nothing as I lose everything because everybody thinks they can come and just take it away from me because somehow they're better than me. And I'm a nobody that deserves nothing except a boot in the ass out the door. Like, what the hell, people? And if not that, then isolate me. Isolate me. That's a big one. I'm feeling, I miss my family. When I had my kids, all of them alive with Uncle John, there was balance. There is no balance anymore. It's all lopsided. So yeah, you just don't want to stick around much longer. What for? What for? But I have to. So what's in that freezer? I don't know. From what I've seen so far, it's not looking too bad. Everything's really nice and frozen. I did phone an appliance place. I did ask them, do freezers actually blow out and start smoking like that? One person said it can happen. It's known to happen. So that was a God moment for Marina to see it. Got unplugged, right? It is what it is. It's 30 years old. Uncle John came by, said, "Don't worry, Judy. You know what to do. I'm there with you. Just pace yourself through it, and it won't be long before it's done. They can get rid of it, and they'll have more space, and I don't know what's going to happen after that, people. I don't know what's going to happen after that. If I don't get outside and start pulling fucking weeds, like, I don't know, I got to take care of this stuff on the inside. So I'm just setting myself up for failure by not going outside. Because ain't nobody else going to pull no weeds right now. But I can't. I have to deal with this other stuff first. So I'm depressed. I want to give up. I just want to walk away and tell everybody to kick rocks. Go off and die somewhere. And I know they won't miss me, and if they do, it'd only be for a second. That's all it would be. Just because that's the way society is now. Yeah. My family is way too damaged for what it's worth. That's what gang stalking brings. Damaged families. Yeah. Anyway. I'm so tired. I don't want to do this. But I can do this. I just have to go dig out my big pot. The big pot. Rinse off the tomatoes. Put them in the pot. Start cooking them. I'm thinking to keep it easy on myself. After they're cooked, I'll let it cool down for a bit. Then I'll stick my hands in there unless I cut out the centerpiece. You know, cut out the centerpiece. Maybe I'll just cut out the centerpiece if I can. Let the tomatoes unthaw just a little bit. Cut out the, where the flower, where the stem goes, Cut that out. Rinse them off. Throw them into the pot. Just start cooking them up. Once they're basically cooked, take a bullet to it. Brrr, just bust them up. Skin and all. Right? Throw in a few tomatoes that I just recently bought. They're store-bought, but they can mix in with those ones. It will be fine. Just so they don't go to waste. And if I don't have the energy to can them up tonight, I'll just leave it on low. Or I'll just leave it on the stove. After it's cooked, I'll leave it on low till late at night, and then I'll turn it off with the lid on, and it will stay nice and warm until the morning, and I can can them in the morning. And while they're cooking, I can just clean up my top fridge up here as best as I can with the container. Well, you see, that's frozen fruit. So I suppose I can maybe make some room in my fridge for the frozen fruit. And then tomorrow, after I'm done canning the tomatoes, I'll just throw all that fruit. It would be lemons, oranges. I think there's some grapefruit, that kind of stuff, right? Maybe kiwis, whatever. I'm just going to throw them all into a pot. And stir them around, cook them with a little bit of syrup. Now I'm going to can those as is. It's either that or chuck them out. And then I'm going to take the tallow and try and get the tallow in the freezer up here by the end of the night. Like within the next several hours. What time is it? It's getting late already. Yeah, it's 4 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock. What?
Damn, it is.
Yeah, it's 4 o'clock. And I haven't gotten anything really done. Because I was organizing and making room to get things done. I only filled up 1 jar.
Yeah, did you drop something? He's asking me if I can just go bring it to him fast. Can I go bring it to him fast?
Just make sure Murray's penciled in.
Yes. I'm just gonna run there fast.
Bagged up my yellow sproutable green peas. Put them in a Mylar bag with some oxygen absorber. Alright, clear out that crap. I'm like trying not to second guess myself by making all this investment into food. Over the years, in light of what's coming in the future with facing homelessness, right? I mean, like, I'm not perfect. I made the decision to do the food prep. Personally, I have no regrets because when I access it, I really like it. But, there's a big part of me that feels like there's just going to come a day when I'm going to have to walk away. Whether I walk away physically as a live person and don't look back, because it's nothing but one big disappointment. And the people who are hurting me don't change. So I don't have a choice but to walk away. Or if I just die and walk away that way. It nags at me to walk away. Because of the messaging that I get from the negativity of these people that take their displaced anger, their whatever it is that fuels them to be bullies, to take things away from other people so that they can have more. I can't deal with it. I mean, people have always done shit like that, but now it's like, it's completely out of control now. Why can't I keep my chair, Mrs. Gill? Because it's old and it's ugly. Yeah, but that's all I have, Mrs. Gill. It's still functional. And what does it matter? Nobody can see it. And the only reason you've seen it is because the fence is broken. If the fence was repaired, you wouldn't see it and it wouldn't bother you. And what does it matter? Because in 2 or 3 or so or 4, how many years, it's all going to be thrown out into the dump by some property developer. Your whole house is not going to mean jack shit. It would be a soulless, dead house that's going to be ripped apart and thrown into the trash. So what difference does it make? Where's the pride in that? So what? You threw a fucking chair in there. What difference does it make? It's all going to end up in the garbage anyway. So why are you trying to speed it up? For what? Who are you impressing? Because you're sure in hell not impressing us. More like terrorizing us. Wanting us to sit on the dirt. Like, come on. I swear maybe she's going a little senile or something. I mean, at 84, 85, or 86 years old, I think Mr. Gill is 86. I think she's 84 going on 85. I mean, there's no need to be so unhappy when you have so much yet. They came to show me that they paid their taxes for 3 houses, so I guess they only owe 3 houses, or at least they paid taxes for 3 houses. And then they reminded me that it didn't pay for garbage pickup or for water yet. Because she put a meter in. Because she thought she was going to get a better deal if she put a meter in. And ever since she's put the meter in for the water, now she complains about how she has to pay water. When before it was like just right in with the taxes. So, you know, it's like you can't win for losing, right? So, every day I live in fear, people. Every day I live in fear. Every day. For one reason or another.